All right, let's just dive right in. What we're about to explore here, it isn't some credentialed, peer-reviewed scientific theory. No, this is something way more intimate. It's a personal map of reality, drawn by someone who was trying to find their way in the dark. And the author just lays it all out with this quote, right? This isn't about proving anything to anyone. It's an invitation to follow along on a journey. It's raw, it's unfiltered, and it all starts by, well, breaking the very tools we use to measure our world. So here's the fundamental problem, according to this map. Our main tool for understanding everything, our base 10, 10-fingered math system, is flawed. It's like we're trying to use a straight ruler to measure a universe that is fundamentally curved, that flows. It just doesn't fit. Now, this is probably going to ring a bell for a lot of you. We've all heard it, right? From people like Tesla, the idea that these numbers 3, 6, and 9 are some secret key to the universe. But what if that's not quite right? What if we've been staring at a warning light on the dashboard and calling it a divine message? And this is the big reveal. The insight here isn't that these numbers are some kind of sacred code. It's that they're symptoms of a mismatch. They're the glitches, the errors that pop up when our rigid straight-line math tries to describe a curved, infinite reality. They're the tattletales, proving our ruler is broken. And a broken ruler leads to a broken kind of logic. The author calls one side extractor's logic. That's when we look at E equals mc squared and see a formula for destroying mass to get power. But what if we just flip it? Architect's logic sees the same equation and says, wait a minute, energy doesn't come from destruction. It emerges from the relationship between things. We're shifting from a universe of consumption to one of pure creation. Okay, so if we set that old, broken ruler aside, we can finally meet the real hero of this story. And it's not a number, it's a shape. It all starts with one single irreducible core, the singularity. Or, as we'll call it, the point. But here's what's so wild about this definition. The singularity here isn't some tiny, dense speck of matter in space. It's defined as pure awareness, consciousness itself. It's the I am before there's anything else. It's the absolute fundamental unit of reality, holding all potential inside it. And then it moves. The very first act of creation. But think about it, with nothing else around, what can it move in relation to? Only itself. So it loops back, closes the circuit, and in that single elegant movement, it gives birth to the primary shape of all existence in this model, the torus, a perfect self-referencing loop. And that first loop, that's just the beginning. From there, the journey of creation really kicks off. This first half is called the alpha descent, and you can think of it like a huge cosmic out-breath, where pure potential just expands into layers and layers of complexity. And this journey happens in stages. It all starts at dimension 0, the pure point. Then, from dimensions 1 to 3, we get the flesh. That's pure vibration condensing into pulse, then light, then mass, the physical stuff. After that, dimensions 4 to 6 build the machine, the actual operating system of reality, creating time, all possible outcomes in the multiverse, and the omniverse that holds it all. So, you might be wondering, with all this explosive growth, how does it all hold together? Well, according to this map, that's where the Platonic solids come in. You can think of them as the crystal scaffolding of existence. Each one of these perfect geometric shapes acts like a stable grid, allowing consciousness to step from one dimension to the next, without the whole thing just collapsing into chaos. So we've reached the peak of complexity. The outbreath is at its absolute limit, but the universe doesn't just keep expanding forever until it falls apart. Now, instead, it pauses. It hits this crucial turning point where the whole cosmic cycle just pivots and turns back on itself. This turning point is called the Sabbath mirror. And it's not really a place. It's a state of perfect stillness, absolute rest. It's the pivot point. The polarity of the entire system flips. The outward push of creation becomes an inward pull of integration. The whole game is no longer about building a more complex machine. It's about figuring out what it all means. And just like that, we begin the second half of the journey, the Omega Ascent. This is the great cosmic in-breath. If the first half was all about creating complexity, maybe even chaos, this half is about refining all that chaos back into purpose, back into meaning. This return trip also has its own stages. Dimensions 7 through 9, that's the realm of the soul, where all those infinite possibilities from the multiverse get distilled down into a single, authentic purpose. Then dimensions 10 through 12 are all about the spirit, perfecting physical matter back into its divine essence. And that leads, finally, to the return. And this is where it all comes together. This is the final, beautiful revelation of this whole cosmic map. After this epic journey, all the way out to the edges of complexity and all the way back to the heights of meaning, we find out the destination is exactly where we started. It all boils down to this incredibly simple yet profound equation. Alpha equals omega. The beginning is the end. Infinity is the point, which itself is infinity. It's a statement that the entire universe is one closed, self-referential, self-sustaining loop.
And this quote just drives it all home, doesn't it? In this toroidal model of the universe, there's no emptiness at the center. There's no void. There's no hole in the donut. There is only the point, consciousness, right at the heart of everything, forever expressing itself and forever returning to itself.
So we're left with a thought that kind of reframes this whole quest for knowledge. Religion has always asked who and why. Science came along and asked how and when. But maybe the most fundamental question isn't found in either of those. Maybe it's found in pure geometry, which asks only one thing: what shape endures? And what if the answer has always just been the point, looking right back at us?